Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. So every day we are learning some wisdom, book wisdom, and also doing the meditation. So today we'll go with the chapter 5 of the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. So let me share the slides. So those who join new today, the book we are discussing is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And the author is Dr. Joe Dispenza. The chapter 5 is Survival versus Creation. So what is the survival and creation? So most of the time we live in a survival mode rather than creation or creating new things. So let's understand more about this. See, the author says, when we are in a creative mode, when we, practice writing, reading, or any kind of painting or arts, when we're in a creation mode, we feel, happy and joyous. At the same time, when we are in stressful, more worried about our health, money, our work, day to day, we are in the survival mode. So most of the time we operate from a survival mode. Even if we try to create because of the past emotions and the circumstances, again, we come out and we be in the stressful mode or the survival mode. So creative activity dissolve focus on body, environment, and time. Survival mode is driven by obsession with health, money, and lack of time. The more we are in the creative mode, we rather than the time we forget, our body, our environment, time, we are fully focused on that. So most people live in survival than in creation, right? Difference lies in where attention and the energy are placed. So if you are worried, anxiety, then you're in the survival. But if you pay attention on, working on new things, creating new habits, then you are in the creative mode. Then you'll be having the happy and joyful because you feel happy and joy when you do what you like, when you create something new. Thought alone can trigger the human stress response and keep it going. So we don't need a physical danger. Just by thinking, any past emotions or stressful state, we can create the stress. So many times when if there is any physical danger or if any, panic situation, then the fight and fight mode gets activated. But even though just by thinking any past situations, we can turn on the fight or flight mode, which keeps us constantly in the stress. It pumps a lot of blood to hands and legs, then in the other organs of the body, which makes us active. Either we have to take some action or run from there, right? So because of this, our health gets degraded. About the poor circulation of the blood, our digestive system, immune system, our cognitive functions, everything become dim and we cannot perform well. Even our sleep also gets affected because of that. So humans re-experience the stress and pre-experience future stress. We are always worried about the past, which we cannot change, what already happened, and worried about the future, what will happen. This causes the constant stress. Energy is diverted from healing to survival. Because of the stress, we are always in the survival mode. Otherwise, our energy can be healing. When we are happy and joy, we have a healing energy. But we are in a stressful state, we are having the negative energy or worry and tension, which causes the ill health or illness. Long-term stress dysregulates genes and promote diseases. So when we are happy and positive, creating some new things, we can have the ability of healing, of creating the new journey expressions. But when we are stressful mode, we create or dysregulate the genes, which can cause illness to our body. So it's everything is caused just by the stress because our body doesn't know the difference that we are actually thinking or the situation is actually happening. Based on our thoughts, we create emotions, and from the emotions, the body, releases the chemicals and all, right? adrenaline, and all those chemicals, stressful chemicals. Because of that, our health also degrades. Survival, living as a somebody. So most of the time in survival mode, we are stressful, anxiety, right? We are always attached to the body, our identity, who am I, where I'm working, this physical and materialistic things. We don't, we forget that we are the consciousness. We are connected with the intelligence field around us. We are always attached with the body and the environment. And we think we are separate. We have an identity. And we forget who we truly are. That is the consciousness. The identity becomes centered on the physical self. Focus narrow to the big tree, right? So here in the right side, if you see the image, right? When we are in the lower emotions, there is competition, guilt, shame, fear, and doubt. That means we are in the survival emotion. But when we move upwards, when we generate love, compassion, then we are elevated emotions. That means we are less matter and we become more energy. When we're in a survival mode, we are less energy and more matter. We are all in the physical things and all. So we are more matter and less energy. As we move up, elevate ourselves, then we become more energy and less matter. So our identity, the environment, everything dissolves. So all the matter is getting dissolved. So only energy is left in the body. So we are fully filled with energy. So elevated emotions are higher frequency and expensive. Letting go of survival emotions raises the consciousness. Addicted to being a somebody. Even though we know that the identity and everything is not right, but still we are addicted because our body needs the same kind of emotions and thoughts. It creates the same. Because without this, it doesn't recollect who we are. The ego comes, right? So it needs, based on this thoughts and emotion, the body always remembers, it forms identity. It's get addicted to that. So it needs more and more of that. So stress hormones create a temporary high. Problems and struggles reinforce the identity. Familiar thoughts and emotions become addictive. So because of the addictiveness, we always think more of the similar kind and we can never change. The change becomes difficult because our body becomes addicted to this thoughts and emotions. We cling to suffering to remember who we are. Because of the sufferings, these emotions and all, we made an identity. This is how I am, this is what who am I, and this so and so. So if there are no thoughts and emotion, the body feels there is no identity. That's why it wants more and more so that it can feel that identity is there. Fear of being nobody keeps us stuck, right? So it just a fear only keeps us stuck. So once we come out of that fear, we release everything, then we be at peace. The selfish self. So when the stress, keeps on getting increased, we are addicted, we are frequent in the stressful mode, then ego comes up. Because we are more attached to the identity, our body, our physical body, and the environment and all. We try to control everything. When we're in a stressful state, we try to argue, we try to defend ourselves. We become more self-centered, reactive, right? And defensive we become. That's how thought of ego comes up. Ego becomes the survival focused and controlling. We try to control everyone because we are in a stressful state. Our thinking capacity, gets diminished at the time. So we don't know what we are thinking, what we are speaking. Over identification with body, environment, and time. Constant prediction and fear dominates awareness. So we try to predict this is what will happen when we are stressed. Oh, this might happen. We fear and we try to dominate everything. Attention determines perceived reality. When we are aware, when in the present moment, then we know the reality. Freedom begins by releasing ego-based identity. Once you drop all this identity, then we truly know who we are. Then the actual freedom comes. You're no longer attached with this environment, body, time, identity, and all. Then the true freedoms come. You can live life happily without any of this attachments, fear, and negative emotions. If our thoughts can make us sick, can they make us well? Of course it does, right? We know wherever we place attention, that's how the energy passes. If you keep our attention on the negative thoughts and emotions, then ultimately we become sick. But at the same time, if we keep our attention energy on the positive things in the present moment, then we can be free, we can have a good and healthy life. Emotions are chemical signatures of experience, right? Whatever we think and feel based on that, the emotions generate, the body release chemicals, and that's how it becomes, right? The experience. Repeated emotions becomes mood, right? The more we repeat, it becomes a mood. We say, oh, this is how I am, and ultimately becomes a temperament, and eventually it becomes a personality that we cannot change. This is how I am. People also start identify us with that personality. Body memorizes emotional states. The more we repeat, and body memorizes this, and it's formed more and more of this similar kind. So interrupting old thoughts, emotions stops old signaling, right? So once you stop old thoughts, when you interrupt, when you think, why am I thinking this way? If you change your thoughts and stop signaling the old emotions, then the actual change can happen. New thoughts and emotions can condition health, can give you a good health. And also the author gives an example. There is a person named Bill who, who found out that he had a cancer, and once he realized that, based on his thoughts and emotions, he changed himself. He tried to change his programming, how he feel and thoughts, and eventually he came out of that illness. He was able to cure his cancer also. Otherwise, if we keep on thinking, okay, why is my state like this? Why is my situation like this? It could lead to more severe health issues, right? Could degrade his health. But he changed his thoughts and emotions. He always thought, I'm healing, my health is doing great. And that's how he came out of that sickness and the illness, and he healed himself. So everything is possible just by our thoughts. Creation, living as nobody. In the creation, body, environment, and time fade, right? We forget the time and everything because we are fully focused in anything. When we are trying something new, when we're working on creative, our full attention is there. So we forget what's happening around us, who is there. We are fully involved into that. If someone likes singing, they're fully busy into that music or any art, you know, then we forget who we are. So self-identity temporarily disappears. We forget everything. Ego is also laid down because we are no longer attached with any of this identity, environment, and all. Right? So awareness become expansive and timeless. So we are 100% fully in the present moment, what we are doing. So we are not thinking, we are not in the past, we are not in the future, but we are in the present moment. You must become nobody, no thing, and no time. To change the big three, you must transcend the time. So when we're in a creative mode, ultimately we are overcoming this time, environment, and the body. That's how the creation happens. We become the nobody, and then we can start creating. To create something, we have to leave this identity. We have to overcome this environment, body, and time. So when you start working on something new or creativity, then ultimately the creation happens. The frontal lobe, domain of creation and change. So our human brain, right? We have the three regions: the neocortex, limbic system, right? And the cerebellum. So the neocortex, which is the middle part of the region, also called as the frontal lobe, which is mostly about awareness, concentration, focus, and all. So it's called the CEO of the brain. It governs attention, awareness, focus, intentions. It controls the impulsive and emotional reactions also. So you can see in the diagram here, right? Frontal lobe, if it questions what is compassion, then the frontal lobe, it accesses whatever the information it has based on the experience, or, it might have read in the books or might have saw in a TV or anywhere, the information it collects. And then it forms frontal lobe, combines individual neural networks to form the new mind based on the learnings, and then internal representation of compassion. Then it gives the meaning of that compassion. That's how the learning happens in the mind. So allows most evolved and adaptable brain region essential for conscious transformation. If you want to transform, the frontal lobe is very important. It you know, it is the main region or area that you can say that helps us in the transformation or creating something new. So metacognition, becoming self-aware to inhibit unwanted states of mind and body. So metacognition is very important. It means self-awareness, self-regulation, reflection, and all these things, right? So observe thoughts, behavior, and emotions. So, so belief shapes identity and reality. Awareness stops the automatic progress, automatic these programs when we are running the autopilot. So metacognition is always, plays a major role. So when we are regular practice of meditation, we become more self-aware, right? We know what our thoughts, our emotions, and everything. So it interrupts old patterns, prunes old neural circuits. Body stops signaling old genes. When the old patterns and old thoughts are stopped, then body also stops signaling the old genes. It produces the new genes, a new expression comes so that we can become the new identity. This process begins losing the old mind. So we no longer operate from the past programming. So based on the new learnings and the new understanding, so we start to operate from there. Our reactions, our responses, everything gets changed, right? We become more aware, we become in the present moment, creating a new mind to think about new ways of being. So how can you create this new mind? Is by regular practicing, no longer thinking from the old patterns and all, right? Set aside a time for reflection and imagination. The author says, take some time and moment. So reflection and imagination. So every day, the more you practice, the more you reflect on yourself, the more you visualize a new future. That's how you can create the new mind. Ask open-ended questions about who you want to be. What is a new identity you want? And then you can imagine, that you're already there and that you are having that new identity. You're becoming the new personality. Brain combines old knowledge in new ways, right? Whatever the knowledge you are learning, it combines and gives into new possibilities. New neural models and internal images form. When you imagine, when you visualize, the new neural connections forms, and also you can have that image of the new identity, what you want in your visualizations or imagination. Mental rehearsals rewires the brain. The more you practice or rehearse in your mind what you want to become, just imagine the future. It rewires the brain. It forms a new neural connection, and the old programming, everything gets reprogrammed. Learning provides raw material for the change. So wisdom is very important. The more you learn the books or whatever the new wisdom, it helps you, it opens the frontal lobe and creates a new ways. It creates a new mind. Making thought more real than anything else. The more imagine, the more you do mental rehearsal, it activates the frontal lobe of the brain, right? And it quiets the other regions, the subconscious and other regions of the mind. So the only thought, the only visualization that is there, that will be there. And based on that new thought, your body will generate the new emotions, and based on the emotions that you feel, the chemicals get released. So this response will be saved. So body awareness, time awareness, everything will fade. You are fully in the present moment. The thought becomes a lived experience based on what you're thinking. The new things, emotions and chemicals will generate, and the new response, the new experience will be saved. So body believes the experience is real. We always said, right? The body doesn't know the difference when you're actually thinking or you're experiencing it. It feels that experience is real, and the subconscious programs are rewritten. Based on these new emotions and feelings, the subconscious programs will be rewritten. The next time when you think, you operate from this new programming, not from the past programming. That's how the change will happen. So making thought more real than anything else. The more you practice, the more you think about it, it makes it real. Lose your mind, liberate your energy. So when you lose this mind, lose your identity and everything, then you can liberate. Then you'll be free, then you'll be joy and happy. The old stress chemistry shutdowns. Emotional energy is released from the body, right? The old stress and the old thoughts and everything will get dissolved. And the emotional energy that was stored from the past will get released. So you'll be free of the stress and the emotional energy and everything. So elevated emotions replace survival emotions. The more you feel joy and happy, then obviously you're moving from the survival mode to the creation mode. Joy, love, gratitude emerge naturally. So body and mind heal as identity dissolves. So with this identity and dropping the ego and everything, your body and mind get healed. You become the new person, a new entity forms. Old personality is biological dismantled. The old personality is dissolved and a new personality gets formed. So author gives so many, options how we can train our mind or how we can move from the survival to creation mode and what are the changes that happen internally and how our emotional addictions and blockages stops us. But when we change our thought, everything is possible. We can heal our health. We can create new things. There are a lot of possibilities that can happen. So friends, today's takeaway: survival is driven by stress, fear, keeping attention on body, environment, and time. Human trigger stress through past memories and future anticipation. Not just a real danger. We saw, right? Just based on our thoughts and everything, we create the stress. In spite there is a physical danger, just by a thought, we create the same situation. Chronic stress shapes identity, emotions, and even gene expressions. We become addicted to familiar problems and emotions, reinforcing the somebody self. Because of addicted, problems and emotions, everything, we think as a somebody else. We create a new identity that we are not, but we think based on emotions and thoughts. Creation begins when we let go of identity, ego, and the big three. Elevated emotions, free energy, activate higher awareness, and allow the real change to happen. And the reflection points that you can reflect upon from this chapter: where in my life am I living in survival instead of creation? When have I experienced moments of flow, presence, or creativity? So, friends, I hope this was helpful. The chapter 5 of this book. So, we do the breath mindfulness meditation. The posture is very simple, as you see in the picture. You can sit on the floor or chair. Clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and cross your leg so that we can form the energy circuit. And just observe your normal natural breath. Don't forcefully inhale or exhale. Just observe how your breath is going in and coming out. As you observe the breath, the mind becomes empty. Thoughts come, it's quite natural. So whenever you feel thoughts are coming, don't get carried away. Bring your attention back to the breath. Just observe what's happening. So friends, I'll play the music and guidance. So just follow and we'll do this meditation. Dear friends, dear masters, sit comfortably, close your eyes, clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and gently place it on your lap. Observe your in-breath and the out-breath. Don't forcefully inhale or exhale. Just observe your normal, natural breath. Be with your breath, dear friends. Let thoughts come and go. When you observe your breath, your mind becomes empty. Our goal is to empty the mind. Be with your breath, dear friends. Go deeper and deeper into yourself. Be with your breath, dear friends. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness. Experience the emptiness inside you, around you. Feel the energy within you. Bring your awareness back to the body. Recollect your experiences. What did you see? And how did you feel? Relax and feel your body. Friends, at this moment, let's express gratitude. Gratitude to our parents, teachers, and mentors. Gratitude to our family members, friends, and everyone we know. Gratitude to Mother Earth, plants, and animals. Last but not least, gratitude to all the devices through which we are all connected. Let's elevate ourselves with these energies, with this feeling of love and compassion. Whenever you are ready, just place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. Hope you all had a good meditation today. So anyone has any questions or want to share your experience, you can unmute yourself. So tomorrow we'll cover the chapter 6 of this book. So please do join regularly. Today we also broke the habit of being ourselves, right? Every day I take the session. So today Ramesh did it. So we used to try new things, be more creative in whatever we are doing. That itself activates, that itself makes us be in the present moment. The more we are in the present moment, the more we try new things, our learning skills will improve. And what are the new things we are learning that get programmed and ultimately will become the new personality. Right? That's how we can change. We can move from survival to creative mode, where we no longer have any fear or judgments. We accept, we surrender. We only focus on the present moment, whatever we are doing. that the outcome comes in various possibilities. Be open to unlimited possibilities. Right? Okay, friends, if there are no questions, we'll end this session here and we'll see you all tomorrow at the same time, again 9 p.m. Central Time. Thank you and have a good night. And good morning to everyone who joined from India. Have a good day.